Advice for single men, a woman's perspective. Pete, thanks for joining. Appreciate you, brother. I'm in my mid 30s, divorced. Oh, sorry. Actually, before I continue, I should enlighten my viewers because it's always important to understand the source and what they're feeling when they provide this information. When women dispense advice for single men and they're single, they're doing it from the perspective of the guys that they're already attracted. So they're not doing it for the general benefit of the males or for men in general. They're doing it for the benefit of the guys that she's already attracted to. So remember that when I'm reading this. And some of these I'm going to agree with. I'll be honest with you. I've gone through it. It's looking good. So she says, I'm in my mid 30s, divorced, and have been on the dating scene for the last 5 years. Okay, so she's been out there for 5 years doing what she's been doing. Now, I'm not claiming all women are perfect or that we don't have our own shit to work on, but this post is strictly advice for the men. Again, this post is strictly advice for the men that I am already attracted to as a mid 30s divorced woman. Keep that in mind, especially the 30s plus singles, which sounds to me is the dating pool that she's dipping her toes into. Now, she's saying, we've got our shit together, our careers are established, homes are secure, and we're doing the work on ourselves. We know what we're looking for in a partner. Now, let me just highlight this real quick. We've got our shit together, our careers are established, home secure. She's basically describing herself as a guy that she wants to be with. Okay, keep that in mind. We've seen this on the Ladies' Nights podcast when we're talking to the gals. Hey, what do you bring to the table? You know, what is it that you bring to the relationship? And it's always some version of, I've got my shit together, my job's great, my home's secure, I have a nice car, my house is decorated beautifully, stuff like that. So this is the description that she's given. Not, I'm feminine and I know how to cook. I know how to enter a man's frame and compliment his life. It's careers, jobs, secure, home. I'll go on. I've seen some repeated behaviors that can be so off-putting, but easily avoidable. I just like to help some fellas out. Again, help out fellas that she's already attracted to. Not for the general male population. This is for the fellas that she's already attracted to. First thing she says is take the lead. Now, I'm going to agree with this one. She says, if you're going on a first date, make the effort and the initiative to plan something. The up to you, in quotations for those of you that are listening, or it's whatever you want to do, is it going to make a girl feel wanted or like she's worth the effort? A little thought and assertiveness goes such a long way. I'm going to translate that to you. It's she wants to follow a leader. She wants to look up to a giant. She can't do that if you can't tell her what time the date is, where you're going to meet, even go to the extent, if you want to be a total Chad and say, that black dress you wore in picture number 3 on the dating app, yeah, wear that. Simple as that. Just take the lead, plan the date, make sure you take care of it. Next thing she says, and I'm going to agree with this as well. Please, for the love of God, just pay for the first date. If your funds are limited, choose something easy, a coffee, a walk in the park. Now, we've seen women, I've done videos on the Entrepreneurs and Cars channel. Usually it's on TikTok or something that I came across on Twitter that basically say, ladies, you shouldn't accept dates, these things. And a coffee date happens to be one of them. Whereas we've got this one over here telling guys a coffee date is absolutely fine. Now, the reason why it's absolutely fine is because the way she's writing this, she's writing it in such a way that she's trying to convince the guys that she's already attracted to modify their behaviors to suit her. So again, like I've said on the Entrepreneurs and Cars channel when I'm responding to this nonsense, women don't give a shit about a coffee date. If she digs your vibe, if she likes you, she will go on a coffee date. She will go for a walk in the park, as I've stated here. You guys unplugging and seeing the code in the matrix. A dessert she even offers as a possible solution, which we've seen these lists before, these 29-point lists where women will say, dessert is not acceptable. If your date is unimpressed by that, then take it as a sign that a more high-maintenance girl is simply not the gal for you. Again, if she's attracted to you, she will do a coffee or walk in the park or dessert, like I said before. Take interest in your date. Ask questions and stay engaged. It goes both ways, but nothing is more off-putting than a man who either talks about himself the whole time or does not make the effort to show he wants to know you at a deeper level. Ask and listen. I'm going to agree with that as well. But here's the thing. It's from the perspective of sizing her up, okay? I mean, if you show up on a date and you're yapping, women are very self-interested. Like I've always said, they're solipsistic. They have difficulty seeing past their own nose. So they're more concerned with what goes on in girl world. So let them talk. You know, the key thing is you're going to know if she digs your vibe if she starts asking you questions. Okay? Now, the types of questions that you ask that she's going to ask will vary. If it's more on the beta buck side of things, she's going to be like, "What do you do for a living?" Not because she's interested in what you do for a living, but she's interested in how much money what you do for a living brings in. See what I'm saying? If she starts asking things about, well, what did you like about Egypt, or what did you like about the Greek islands when you were there? That's interesting. That's like she's kind of interested in you. What do you like to do with your spare time? She's interested in you. But it's important to use your ears and your mouth in the ratio that you were given them in. You have two ears and one mouth. Use them in that ratio. Pay attention to what she's saying. It's going to help you size her up. It's going to help you spot red flags, as I outline in my book. So you should be sitting there and asking her questions. Questions like, "Tell me about your childhood." "Oh, yeah? Da, 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 da. What school did you go to? Da, 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 da. What's your relationship with your parents like?" You don't necessarily want to say what's your relationship with your parents like, but what was your dad like growing up, sort of thing. That's a more interesting question, right? That'll help you spot if she's got daddy issues. See what I'm saying here, right? So asking a couple questions is always a good thing. I am not going to give a lecture on chivalry. So here comes the chivalry part. And again, this is from the perspective of she's already attracted to the men. This is the advice that she's looking for. This is the advice she's dispensing to the men that she already wants to get with. Okay. But a couple of small things make a big difference. Get out of your car to greet her. Offer her food first if you're sharing. Walk her to her Uber or door when she's leaving. It's such small things. Now, this is just standard being a gentleman sort of thing. Like, if you're meeting somebody for the first time, you should get up out of your chair and greet them. Uh, I'm not really sure why you would be sitting in your car to greet somebody for the first time. That's bizarre, but again, it's out of courtesy. Even if it's a dude and I'm being introduced in a business interaction, transaction, or anything like that, of course you're going to get out of your car or stand up to shake the other man's hand and look in his eyes. You're not shaking the woman's hand. You can greet her however way you feel most comfortable, but greet them. Be a gentleman. It's pretty straightforward, right? Middle effort. You're considered attentive. Again, so far I agree with the first four. This is where it's going to start to change a little bit, though. Now, if you've reached a stage where she's coming over for the first time, please clean up. I mean, guys, if you're not cleaning your house, you should have a cleaning lady. I'm just gonna say it. It's pretty straightforward. If you're not cleaning your house, get a cleaning lady. They're not that expensive. An average, probably 2,300 square foot house is gonna cost you 120 to 160 bucks, per visit. It's worth it. I don't like cleaning. It's not a good use of my time. I have ladies that come over that do it. They're fantastic. Uh, brilliant, brilliant. Just trust me, pay for a cleaning lady. So the advice, again, so far, I agree with, right? I personally take it as a sign that not only are you not clean, but you don't even care to appear clean for the first time at your house. This especially goes for the bathroom. Clean your toilet and wipe down your sinks. I do not want to see bowel stains and grime. I, can't- I laugh at this because it's funny. Because if a chick's coming over to a dude's house and he's got skid marks going in his toilet, I can't imagine what's going through her mind, man. I mean, it's just simple. Like, throw off the, appearance of cleanliness. I mean, women are attracted to that. Oh, man. I continue to see this even with men in their 40s, and I don't understand how anyone thinks that's acceptable. Like I said, you got skid marks in your toilet, hire a cleaning lady or scrub them down. Now we get into the hookup part. Now, this is where it gets interesting because she's lecturing guys about becoming a virtuous, chivalrous, masculine dude, that she wants to get with. Again, she's in her mid-30s, she's been divorced, and in the dating scene for 5 years. What does that mean in the 5 years? I don't know. She could have ran through the entire city block. She could have been in a couple of long-term relationships. Who knows? Maybe we'll find out in a second. Chivalry. So if you reach a stage where she's coming over, clean up, bathroom. Okay, so now we're talking about the hookup part. Why is she talking about the hookup part if she's such a good catch? If you're about to hook up, make the effort to ensure you're clean and fresh. I get that we might get a little musty sometimes, even if we're generally clean. People, take the time or excuse yourself and check. Are the pits good? I don't know why the pits would matter. Like, is she going to lick them or something? Anyway, she wants to know that your pits are good. If you can't even bother to take a shower, get yourself some wet wipe, some wet wipes, some baby wipes or whatever. Just give yourself a little Spanish shower. That's what they call it, back in the day, the Spanish shower. A little clean enough, right? Do something basic like that, straightforward. Let's see, sometimes if we're generally clean, or take the time to excuse yourself, it's okay. Are you getting some real action? Wash your D and really get in there, boys. Wash your D and really get in there. Don't forget behind your nuts. Now, I don't know what the hell she's doing behind your bulb, right? Because behind your nuts, there's something called a asshole. What is she doing down there? I've experienced the most put together men end up with a musty set of balls that I won't go near. If you take the risk of me taking a hit on that shit, then what else don't you care about? So quite a bit of vulgar language here for a gal that's, on a dating app. It's talking about chivalry and asking questions and get to know her. All of a sudden now she's talking about the alpha seed. She's talking about the alpha. Okay, this is where she's going. Next one. If you're expecting a hookup or an overnight guest, please have clean sheets and a fresh towel. You hear her, fellas? She wants to hook up with you. She wants the alpha, but you got to have some clean sheets and a fresh towel. It's so basic, but make you come off like a real grown up. See, this is a shaming tactic, right? Uh, Shaming tactics are a real put off, guys. Don't ever deal with them. Put your foot down, walk away. Nonsense. Grown up. You're a real grown up now that you've changed your sheets and given her a fresh towel. She says she recently went on a couple of dates with a 50-year-old man. So she's hooking up with a guy older than her. Lovely guy. I was excited to spend the night. He had one used and smelly bath towel that clearly had not been washed in ages. That was enough for me to lose attraction. Not look back. Inexcusable and representative of more. It says hygiene, cheapness, consideration that I'm staying over, a desire to make me feel welcome and comfortable. Let's keep going. There's plenty more. These are a couple of things that I've been repeatedly among men 35 to 50 that should have ended up at college, that should have ended at college graduation. Curious to hear if this feels like too much to ask for or what else you would ask for. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here and pin down below in the top comment. You'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.